What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
Hello and welcome back to What's in the Box on Hitthesnake. Today we have a small package. I have a feeling this is going to be kind of a mini episode of What's in the Box. I'm not going to probably spend too much time here on this particular one. As you can see, the package has come via the Royal Mail and it does say World of Books. So yes, this might be a really boring episode if you don't like books, but it is quite a cool book, and I think it's the book that I'm thinking of anyway. But I'm gonna, skip on to the best bit. I've no coffee today because I'm just not feeling a coffee, I'll be honest. I had a yogurt earlier though. So I'm gonna just crack straight into this particular package. It's nice and easy to open as well. So ladies and gents, here it is. The novelisation of a video game by LucasArts called The Dig. Yes, so you're probably thinking, what the hell is The Dig? And why did you buy a novelisation of The Dig? Well, as you probably know if you've watched any amount of these videos, I am an absolute huge LucasArts fanboy. And not only that, I really do like video game related books, because I do get the odd video game related book. This particular book I came across just on my searches of the internet. I didn't actually know until I saw it recently on Facebook in a group that I'm part of that talks about big box games and LucasArts stuff, that there actually was a novelisation of the video game The Dig. The weird thing about The Dig is Steven Spielberg was actually involved with it. Now I do have a copy of The Dig, so that's my copy of The Dig. I sadly don't have a big box version of The Dig, as it is quite hard to come across in the particular version that I'm looking for, which is the American version that's kind of glossy and kind of shiny, kind of like those old cards, Pokemon cards, shiny Pokemon cards. It kind of looks like that. And sadly, this is my original copy that I got back in like the early 2000s when they did these kind of reissues in the DVD style cases of the LucasArts classics. And as you can see, obviously they've taken the cover is the exact same, though this one's a little more colourful because I'd say this is a bit sun damaged from the years of just owning it. It's probably a little faded. But yeah, it's hard to come across the big box version, and I really do want the big box version of The Dig because, it's a great game, and it's kind of, personally I think it's kind of a bit of a forgotten point and click from LucasArts because it is very different to their usual kind of comedic, zany, cartoony kind of style. This is very serious and it has quite a dark story, and weirdly enough as well, it's one of the first games I probably ever played. It wasn't one of the first games I ever played that had an alternative ending, but it certainly had a very interesting alternative ending. It's definitely worth checking out if you are into point and clicks. Definitely play it, there's no question there. It's quite hard, the puzzles can be very obtuse because it kind of takes place, we'll say, in an alien world. That's the most I'll tell you about it. But yeah, really cool. I'm glad now to finally have The Dig novelisation in my collection. As I said, I am quite a big fan of collecting video game related novels, and funnily enough, another very famous example of a video game based novel is the novel that Ron Gilbert basically based Monkey Island on, which is On Stranger Tides by Tim Powers. It's a novel from the 80s. And yes, that is Blackbeard. It takes place in the Buccaneers time, I think, or just shortly after the Buccaneers time of the pirates. It's a really good book. I'm nearly finished it actually. 3/4 of the way through it. Loads of voodoo and magic and stuff like that, and pirate adventures, and it's really a swashbuckling adventure. It's kind of in the same vein of like an Indiana Jones film or even Pirates of the Caribbean, I suppose, would have gotten quite a lot of influence from this as well, funnily enough, on Stranger Tides. And Monkey Island did as well from the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. But we're not here to talk about that, we're here to talk about The Dig. So yeah, novelisation, I'm really not sure how, because on Stranger Tides, Monkey Island was kind of based on the book, whereas this is a book based on the game, and I don't think I've ever read a book that was based on a video game. I'm just not sure how it'll translate well, because films in general have been poor enough in terms of translating video games, I suppose, because when you're in the cinema you're like, I wish I was playing the game instead of watching the game. So I'm going to have a quick look at the back here. I'm going to just do a little synopsis and see what it says. Right. Inspired by the imaginative genius behind Close Encounters of the Third Kind, E.T. and Jurassic Park, here's an epic science fiction adventure too big for even Steven Spielberg to bring to the screen. Steven Spielberg obviously was a huge friend of George Lucas, and he would have been in the Lucas Ranch quite often. But funnily enough, because Steven Spielberg had kids at the time who were into video games, Steven himself actually was into the medium. And of course DreamWorks Interactive was Steven Spielberg's baby. But also he used to talk to the guys making games inside there quite often. There's a funny joke that the guys inside, like Ron Gilbert and Tim Schafer, you'd get a call and it'd be Steven Spielberg on the line, because he'd call them so frequently. They'd like hold the phone up around the office and they'd say, does anybody else want to talk to Steven? He's burning my ear off here. It's very funny. Steven obviously is a very energetic guy. In the dead of space, something is alive. Yeah, so a novelization of a point and click video game, I really don't know how it's going to work out. It's going to be an interesting read, I think, because I haven't played The Dig in many years. I actually only ever played The Dig once fully through, because it is quite hard and it's bleak is all I can say. That's all I can really remember, the feeling the game gave me. It's very bleak. At the back here, oh yeah. Of course, if you enjoyed the book, if you knew nothing about the video game and somehow magically picked this book up in a bookstore to read, you would find out after that yes, this is actually a video game as well, called The Dig. So look, there's not really much more to say about this. The book is obviously it's a well-loved book. It was read probably a couple of times by the looks of it. It's probably been kept in storage or whatever. There's not really much more to say about it. It is a book. It just requires me to read it. But a little mini episode for you here today of What's in the Box. So thanks very much for watching. Please do like, comment and subscribe if you want some more of this unboxing goodness. And yeah, thank you. Goodbye.
Hitthesnake. Videos for no one watches now. Hitthesnake. Looking at lovely things we have.